Hi, this is Nancy and Brenda with the Hospice Care Plan. Today we're going to talk about how to transfer a patient from the bed into the wheelchair using a gait belt.
The first thing we want to do is make sure that the bed is level as it can be with the level of the wheelchair. So I'm going to bring it up. This is a good old-fashioned crank. A lot of the hospital beds now have electric.
And of course that's going to help him stand a little bit too, because he doesn't have to have quite an angle at his from his hip to his knee.
Nancy, how's that height there?
That looks really good.
So I think what's important is we can see here, Pete is a big strapping guy and I'm not that big. That's not an uncommon scenario. And the key is, can we safely help transfer him to the wheelchair? He's declining, getting weaker. But as you can see, Pete is still able to sit up independently. His feet are planted. And so I think that at this point, as long as he can stand and have assist with pivoting, it's doable. If that's not the case, then we don't want to do that.
And you also want to know if a patient understands what you're wanting them to do. If Pete had Alzheimer's or dementia and wasn't able to follow directions, it's going to be a different type of experience.
So here's a gait belt, and you can also use a very large belt at home or even a scarf, but this is the safest. I go around under their arms. Now, if I tend to go above the chest, if it's a woman with large breasts, I tend to go under the breast. But with Pete, we're going to go in here. This gait belt is just barely big enough. Oh, I got it wrong, so I have to turn it.
And notice again that Pete's strength is good enough so he's actually able to maintain his balance with his torso. He isn't falling backwards or wobbling all around. So again, this is part of the assessment of whether this is going to be a positive experience and whether it's actually possible for the patient and us to do it safely.
So obviously this is just going to barely fit on Pete, but notice I can get my hands in there easily, and we're not going to keep it on him. So what's important is Pete's going to have to help me. I'm going to want one leg in between. I want his feet firmly planted. I want my other foot holding his position there. Pete knows exactly what we're going to be doing. Okay, so but what I'm going to do, that's in place. I'm going to have Pete hug me around the shoulders.
And while they're doing that, I'm going to remind you that if you have help, always get a second person. I am going to be the second person to help guide him into the wheelchair. And you're going to tell Pete to get his nose over his knees as you're getting ready. And of course, you're going to count to 3 so that you are both
doesn't work.
Moving at the same way. Yes.
Make sure that the heels are under the knees. Middle foot in, my other foot there. Have this close with the angle. Take the feet off of the wheelchair. Okay, Pete. And I'm helping him because he is on 3. We're just going to stand. Okay. I get nice and close. I bend my hips, tuck my belly. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. Right. Now we're going to look at how close our bodies are. We're going to pivot. I've got a hold of this gait belt. Okay. Keep my foot in between.
And I'm right.
Go ahead and reach back for the thing. Reach back for there you go.
There we go.
And I'm going to go with him as he sits down. Excellent. Now, that went really well. And I'm going to get that uncomfortable gait belt off of him. So say that didn't go so well. Instead of trying to make it happen, I'm just going to let Pete go to the ground comfortably instead of trying to prevent a fall. Because then both people will get more hurt if they don't. Mm-hmm. So
I think that's a good example of transferring someone with a gait belt, someone who is still able to manage their own body enough to hold their torso up and then to stand with guidance and do a little dancing pivot into the chair. We'll go on from there. And please don't hesitate to watch more of our videos and go to our YouTube site, buy our booklet. We're there at the Hospice Care Plan.
Thank you.